Hey there, Lesley-Pazdzioch here with Inspiring Creative Insight Life Coaching. And today's video is all about our health, our mental, our physical, as well as our spiritual health. I know in today's times we really need to start paying attention to them, and I'm also going to be sharing some of my own personal tips and tricks that I use to get me back up and motivated and moving each day. So if you're ready to get started, let's go. Hello again, my name is Lesley-Pazdzioch. Welcome to my YouTube channel. You know, it's obvious that with everything going on in the world, there's such great concern that we need to really start paying attention to our personal well-being, and in three major areas, and that's within our mental, our physical, and our spiritual well-being, because the three interact together. If we are not, when there's an imbalance, then the other two aren't quite where they need to be. So in this video section, I'm going to be going over each area and with great detail to give you a little bit of insight into each of them. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. And if you have suggestions, throw those in there too. And I'd be more than happy to do my best to make videos in the future that address those for you. And if you want to chat one-on-one with me, you know, visit my website, set up a complimentary call, and let's work on this. It's very important that we really focus on our well-being during this time, and even I struggled with it. But I've learned a few things that I'm really grateful to be sharing with you. So the first area I want to talk about is with our personal well-being is our mental health. Now, really take some time and figure out what it is that you need and what it is you desire. So, for instance, if you need a new job, what is your desired ideal position? What is your ideal desired job? If you need a new home, what is your desire to have it look like? What does it look like? Really sit down and mentally try to picture this and feel it. First feel it. Say, oh, this would make me happy. These are the feelings and the emotions of having this job or having a new home or having a new relationship or mended relationships, whatever it is. Feel the feeling and really start imagining what would it look like, and start writing these things down as you're trying to create your new reality, your new now, because that's really what this is all about. You're going to create the life that you want to live. So also, just simplify things. You know, our mental health has so many moving parts to it, and there's different theories and healing remedies and such. And honestly, for me, what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video are things that I spent over a decade trying to figure out how to heal my past and feel better. And really, it's all within yourself. And what I came to realize is I can't change the past, and I don't want to anymore, because this is who I am. I'm a stronger, wiser person because of the things I experienced in my past, good and bad. So if I change that, then I change who I am now, and we should really like who we are now, because you're fabulous. You're a fabulous person. When you are on your 50-yard line, you're peace, you're calm, when your emotions are stable, you really like yourself. So try to stay there, and let's get there. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And also, never want to change other people, because remember, if you want to change them or you want them to change, that means they'd be able to do that to you. And really, don't ever change for anybody. Just be you, because you're fabulous. Now, the next thing is I'm going to share with you a few of my own personal practices. So whenever I experience something that's uncomfortable or that didn't go very well, when my divorce happened, I'll use it, this is a very personal thing. When my divorce happened, so many people saying, oh, well, he this and he that, and just slammed him. And that really didn't feel good to me, because this was somebody that I really loved and cared about. I wasn't very happy. I was obviously angry. about the situation. But listening to other people badmouth, the other person that was in your life, that's not the way, that's not going to solve anything. So what I did instead is I took accountability for my portion of the relationship crumbling, and then the other portion where people try to blame you for certain things, I gave that back. I let them take their portion, him take his portion, and I took my portion. And so mentally, if instead of taking responsibility for things that aren't yours, only take responsibility and accountability for your portion and stuff. Not for what other people think and say about you and towards you, but truly your part that you played in it. Maybe you fed into something. That's all you need to worry about is just take accountability for your portion. And really use affirmations. When you decide what it is you want, when you've determined what those desires are and what those needs are, write out some really strong, pointed statements about what exactly it's going to be, and really read them every single day. Create a vision board. Vision boards are really great, and they'll bring you up, and it will give you something to look forward to, and really look at and go forward in your day as if, it's already coming into your life. It's already coming into your life, because it is. Everything that passed you, that's already done. But let's move forward. So write those affirmation statements out of what exactly it is you desire and what it is you need. And the next thing is intentions. Every night before you go to bed, set an intention and give gratitude. Before I go to bed, I always give gratitude. I thank God, or, your higher divine being, your higher divine source. Just say thank you. Thank you, and be grateful for the certain things that happened throughout that day that really made you feel good. Maybe all you could do was get up and maybe you ate something. Maybe hopefully you ate something healthy. If all you could do was take a 5-minute walk, or whatever it was in the day that you did that made you feel better than you were before, thank them. Thank God, thank your divine source. Just be grateful. Just say, I am so grateful that this experience, I was able to do this. And then set an intention. My intention tomorrow is, I can't wait to get up tomorrow. I'm going to get up at this time, and this is what I'm going to look, this is how it's going to be. I'm going to have a really great day, or I'm going to look for a new job, or I'm going to call that person and apologize for whatever behavior or whatever it is. Set an intention for what you want that next day to look like. And then there's forgiveness. Really forgive yourself. Forgive yourself if you're holding yourself accountable for things and really being hard on yourself for something that you said that you regret now. And for other people, forgive other people. Forgiveness is something that's earned and something that we need to give to other people, especially to ourselves. And sometimes forgiveness isn't going to work. It has to be a pardon. You have to kind of give people pardons, like, even ourselves. We can't change the past. It's already there, and we can't make it different. So we just have to accept the fact that that's what happened, pardon the experience, forgive yourself, and move forward, accepting that that's just the way it is. And finally, with our mental health, one last note. Remember, your life is about you, because of you, and for you. And if you don't live it to your best interest, not the best interest of others, you're not going to be happy, and you're not going to fulfill your purpose, because all of our lives have a purpose. And once you find your core being and live with that core being, you're not going to know your purpose, and you're not going to be so happy. So let's find your core being in all of this, and get right down to what is your truth, what's your core being, and what should you be thinking about, and how should you live your life. That's what this is all about. let's have some fun. The next section we're going to be talking about our physical health. And this one was really good for me. You'll see. So now we're going to be talking about our physical health. And, daily exercise is not only good for our physical bodies, but it's also really good for us mentally and for our emotional well-being. I'm going to tell you a little story. When I was younger, my sister would jog around our neighborhood, and I would sit on our front porch eating a hot fudge sundae, dipping french fries into it. I did not like exercise. I've never liked exercise. Up until now, it's really essential because I've noticed gravity starting to take things, control my body that I really shouldn't know anything about. So I think I better start lifting more than my spirits these days and put things back into perspective. And so when I looked at it, and over about a month into the pandemic, I found myself getting up, at odd times of the day would shift, and I just was off schedule. So what I did is, I was feeling fatigue, and I was feeling anxious, and I was feeling depressed, and my moods were swinging. I swear, I felt like a grandmother clock. They just swing back and forth. And I just didn't. One minute I'd be happy, and the next minute I'd be whatever. And we also understand that fatigue comes from the fear of the future, and fear comes from our inability to, and our apprehension to whatever's coming. And depression is being stuck in the past, not letting go of whatever happened in the past. And so that's what I was talking about in the previous section of this video. So our mental health, we got to let that stuff go because we can't change it. We just have to appreciate what it did for us today and how it's made us better or how it's going to change, right? And so to combat all of these battles within me, I decided to start getting up every morning. I started at 8:30. I got up and I would walk. And I would only walk for 20 minutes. The first time it was 8:30, it was 20 minutes long. My feet started to get sore. I had on the wrong shoes, and it was too stinking hot outside. So then I decided, well, I'm going to push it back. So I pushed it back to 8, and then I pushed it back to 7:30. And I pushed it back now. I walk between 6 and 6:30 and with a neighbor of mine. And I started walking for 45 to 60 minutes, and it really felt so good. It really felt good. I'd get up at 5:30. I get up now at 5:30, between 5 and 5:30, and I walk at 6 for an hour or an hour and a half, and it feels wonderful. So this week I've decided to add some cardio into it, and I needed to figure out a different schedule. So I decided Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays I'll do the cardio at home, and Tuesdays and Thursdays I'll walk. And the reason I did that is because I live in Colorado, and our weather is shifting. In fact, it's already snowed here this year. But I wanted to make sure that I'm getting my heart rate up and that I'm taking care of the circulation in my body. So I'm adding the cardio inside. And there's a really great YouTube videos that you can get. I mean, YouTube's packed full of them. Well, what I've been doing this week is called Pop Sugar. And it's really, it gets you going in the morning. When you get up, you get your glass of water. If you need to eat something, and just do the cardio. And it really, truly makes you feel so much better. And I'll put some links below to that Pop Sugar video if you're interested into it. And if you're interested, and if you would want to walk with me in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would be more than happy to create a group, say in Facebook, or let's do a Facebook group, and we'll do some live walks, or we could even do it within Zoom, within a Zoom account, and we can all walk together. So if you need a walking partner, let's do that. Put it in the chat section below. Yes, you want to walk with me, and let's get going. We can do the Facebook group, every Tuesday and Thursday, and set at a certain time, and we'll walk at 6 or 6:30, whatever works best for you. If there's a couple of you that are interested in it, let's figure out which is best for everybody. 6 or 6:30. Let's start walking together in the morning. Get to know each other. It would be really, these things. We still need that human connection, even though we don't have that human interaction face to face. But let's get to know each other. I'd like to know who you are and what makes you happy. So if you're interested in walking with me, again, put it in the comment section below. Now, in the next section of this video, I'm going to be talking about spiritual health. And it's not like an odd spiritual. I'm talking like spiritual, religious, how that how God interacts in our lives and how important that is to get to our core real truth, which is part of what we're trying to get to, right? We're trying to get to live from the inside out. It's got to include some spirituality. So let's look at that. That's also really fun for me. It's probably one of my most pleasing aspects of this journey through life. So let's go. Let's get into the next section. So in this section, I'm going to talk about spirituality and our spiritual health. And spirituality, it's always an essential aspect of our lives. And in current social situations and circumstances, I'm finding great pleasure in more and more people exploring those avenues. Whether they do it religiously in a congregation, or they're doing it through a spiritual aspect within themselves. For me, it all came down to whatever it was inside of me is really spirituality or belief systems in anything really come from the core of who you are. And that's part of living from the inside out. And one of the biggest questions that got me on my journey 15 years ago is I asked, who am I? And why am I here? Because my whole life, I knew that there was God, or God was always talked about and present, but I never felt it. I didn't ever feel it inside. I didn't ever feel that connection. And I looked for a long time in many different religions, and I didn't find it. And what I found myself feeling and thinking is, perhaps maybe I'm suffering in this lifetime for something I did in another lifetime, because I had heard that. And many things. Maybe God forgot about me. Maybe I'm just a bad person because I had such a horrible childhood that maybe I displeased him. Maybe I let him down. Maybe he's punishing me. But it's not the case. It wasn't the case at all. And when I really started honing in and really looking inside of me, I realized that's where all the answers were. It's just inside. And for some, let me see, in the event that this is a void in your life, and you're interested in exploring any of it, I highly suggest it. I explored several different religions, and I explored several different non-religious belief systems or practices. And then I came back down to, what do I believe inside? What does my gut tell me? My gut has always, for me personally, my gut's always told me there's a higher divine. That divine in Christianity is called God. In other religions, that higher purpose or that higher divine has a different name. They all need to be respected because truly they're all of the same thing. We just come from different places in the world with different, that our belief systems were formed from something else. What I did find in every religion had truth to it. It had some sort of truth to it for me, but not everything that it had to offer, I believed. And then finally, I found it all inside. And so if it's something that has not been in your life, it's been a complete void, I get it. I get it. For a long time, it was a void for me, and I looked for it out externally. But what I found is it was inside. And for most of my life, that was like a really big struggle and a huge situation for me. It's not an issue anymore. It all comes from within to without. That's your belief system. And it's within spirituality. It's believing in who you are. It's believing in what you want. It's believing that you're worthy and that you're loved and that you're treasured. One of my most favorite people that I follow, that I watch tons of his YouTube videos and read his books, is Wayne Dyer. And he once said, if we knew who walked beside us, we would never feel sad and alone. And I found that to be very comforting. So if you are interested in wondering, he had a very beautiful approach to life and to spirituality, and I highly recommend looking into some of his information. Also, with all this new information, I'm just going to encourage you, set some goals. Set some goals in each area, no matter how big or small they are. Celebrate every time you accomplish it. Add it into a routine and just live your best life and live it from the inside out. You know, I love to spoil my viewers, and for a limited time only, I'm offering some complimentary get acquainted calls, and with those people that are looking for coaching, and if it works, I'm putting together a 6-week package at an incredibly reduced rate due to COVID-19 and the upsets with people that are having within themselves and in their life with relationships and everything. So, consider, click the link in the bio and consider scheduling one of those complimentary calls. I'd love to get to know you and see if we could work together and help you through any sort of personal or relational issues that might be going on with you so that you can live the best life ever from the inside out. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.